Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Empowered Gems Tarot. My name is Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what's next for you in the upcoming month of July. So we're just going to be looking at a general overview for you for the month of July, just to understand what is ahead, what events, energies, people, situations of significance you can anticipate next month. And we will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, as well as charms and dice as usual for this reading. All of those will be timestamped below in case any of you guys like to skip ahead to charms a little bit sooner, and all of that good stuff. So remember, this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so the messages may vary with how specifically they're going to resonate with each individual viewer out there. So just keep in mind that if something in your chosen reading doesn't resonate for you, or if it doesn't feel like it really fits your situation or feels confusing, those are just indications that these are not typically your messages, that they're for somebody else out there in the collective who is watching. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, sometimes those can be a better way to get a more specific read on your own personal energy and situation. The link to my website is in the description box below if you want to book with me. But I do also offer memberships over on Patreon as well. I do exclusive pick-a-cards for members only over there on Patreon. And sometimes I think because it's a smaller collective, some of the viewers find that the pick-a-card readings tend to resonate a little bit better for them over there because it's not as many people that we are tapping into in the collective. So lots of options available for you if you want to continue to support my work. But with that being said, let's go ahead and select your reading. So we've got a choice between 3 readings today. If you're drawn to reading number 1, we will be working with this Saturn archetype card. If you are drawn to reading number 2, we will be working with this Uranus archetype card. And if you are drawn to reading number 3, we will be working with this Antimony archetype card. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about the upcoming month of July and what you need to know. Go ahead and select the card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey group 1, and welcome to your reading. So today we're going to be looking into what's ahead for you in the month of July. We're going to start your reading with your oracle and tarot cards, but we will also be moving into charms and dice as well. The timestamp for when that begins for you will be linked in the description box below in case any of you guys kind of prefer to skip ahead to the charms portion first. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk through like what's ahead for you guys, overall energies. So we're starting off with the energy of Saturn here. We also have the first chakra, Archangel Michael, followed by Broken Heart in reverse. Okay. So group 1. I do feel like a lot of you guys are kind of in maybe like a little bit of a transition period this month, or something is happening with regard to like your foundation, something foundational in your life with the root chakra being here. And the reason that I feel like there is some sort of a change that you're experiencing is because I'm really drawn to this. I think it's pronounced Sith. I don't know. Sith is like Star Wars, but hopefully you guys get what I mean. Like this is the tool that we typically see depicted in death, right? In the character of death. And while Saturn does not talk about death necessarily, I feel like with Saturn being here, when I say death, I just want to clarify that I'm not talking about it in the literal sense. I'm talking about the metaphor of death and rebirth, letting something go so that we can usher in something new and different. So I feel like with Saturn being here, there's like some sort of a change that you guys have been moving through leading up until the month of July. Something has been fading away in your life. Something's been changing in your life. You've been letting something go in your life. And I feel like this month it's all about like rebuilding. Saturn is about structure. It's about discipline. It's about accountability, right? And it is the energy of like hard work and accountability and all of those things, because the goal is to help us be better in something and for us to create something more stable for ourselves moving forward so that we're better set up for success. So it definitely seems like with the broken heart in reverse, like whatever this is that you guys have been experiencing, I do feel like this month is going to be more about like releasing, letting it go, recovering from whatever this disappointment has been or whatever this shakeup to your foundation has been. And now we're kind of in this more empowered place of like, okay, it's time for me to rebuild. It's time for me to restructure. It's time for me to get organized and to take accountability because there is like this, it really feels like you guys have been through something. Like with the black color and this scythe here, it's more like in the past position. And then we have the white color here with all of the Saturn glyphs in like the future position, right? So it's just making me feel like the past is the past. It's time to accept what happened. It's time to accept whatever the new normal is. And now we're in this place of like, okay, let's rebuild. Let's get back on track. The first chakra can talk about things like our home, our stability, our finances, you know, like the basic needs that we need met in order to survive in life. This could even be talking about work for some of you guys as well. Like maybe there's been some sort of a change that's happened with the work that you do, which would impact your foundation. So that's going to be a little bit different depending on your specific situation. But let's continue working with the Lord of the Rings tarot deck today. And I was inspired to work with this deck because I have my Carnelian here, which this one, I bought it because it reminds me of the Eye of Sauron. So if anyone's a Lord of the Rings fan, comment below if you see the likeness to Sauron there. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what the energies have in store. Group one. And look, you guys, as I'm shuffling the deck, I'm seeing the Death card here. So this is so interesting because that is exactly, even though, again, like Saturn, the energy of the Death card is typically associated with Pluto, right? And we don't have Pluto's energy here. We have Saturn's energy here. So there's like some sort of change that's now requiring you to restructure or reorganize or reframe the way you work through something. And in this depiction of the Death card, this is like a very pivotal moment within the Lord of the Rings story where we have like Boromir passing away and the Fellowship kind of going off on their own separate directions, ultimately each playing their own role in the story, right? So there could just be something symbolic there for some of you guys around like, maybe for some of you this involves leaving a person behind or a community or people that you know kind of going in different directions. I do feel with the broken heart in reverse that you are going to be okay. Okay, so let's see. Like maybe the initial shock of whatever is changing has subsided, or the hurt or the pain is slowly healing this month as you kind of empower yourself to rebuild. So what else, Spirit, for group one in the month of July? Whoop, hold up. So we had the Two of Coins and the King of Swords coming through, which makes a lot of sense. Six of Swords in reverse. And look, we have the Emperor's energy here at the bottom of the deck, which I love to see this. So Emperor, again, it's kind of mimicking that Saturnian energy of structure, authority, authority over our dominion, over our kingdom, right? I do feel for a lot of you guys, like, I know that the reading does have like a heavier energy to it. I'm not going to lie. It really feels like you guys have been through something, okay? And it doesn't necessarily feel like the path ahead is going to be super easy necessarily. But I feel like whatever you guys have been through, it's helping you to be more like in a leadership, more empowered energy within the situation. When I see Aragorn coming up here, this is like the most benevolent and like emotionally intelligent type of leadership energy that we could have, especially in the energy of the Emperor, because a lot of times the Emperor can be very like rigid and cold and controlling and authoritarian, right? Depending on how they're showing up. There's light and shadow attributes to every card. But with Aragorn being here, this is somebody who is like a servant leader, someone who loves other people, who has compassion for other people, somebody who is an authority figure, but it's more of like that benevolent, emotionally intelligent authority figure. And I also think a lot of you guys might have imposter syndrome too, because like one of the things that really always stands out to me about this character, especially in the movie version of him, is that like he doesn't necessarily want the spotlight. He doesn't necessarily want to be in the center of attention. He's like ready to just kind of live undercover as a ranger, but he is naturally thrust into this leadership position where it's like, even though he didn't want it, it's really meant for him, which to me just kind of means that you, my viewer, take power and authority seriously. Like you understand kind of like the gravity or the seriousness of what it means to be in a power position or a more authoritative position, and you want to make sure that you are using it wisely. I always kind of feel like the people who don't really want to be leaders are usually like oftentimes the best suited to lead because they don't want the power, right? And where a lot of times people who are drawn, not just generally speaking, I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but I think sometimes people who are really drawn to leadership positions or leadership energies, it's more about the power that they get to have over others, their sense of self-importance that it gives them. To me, this is a much more humble and deserving energy that I see you guys in. So I'm going on a tangent. I say all that to say, I think there's something about you stepping into, whether this is a metaphorical leadership energy and getting everything together in your life. Maybe you're literally getting a leadership role at work. Like there could be a lot of different ways that this plays out, but I say all this to say, you are fully capable. You have got this, and you deserve it. So let's get into some of these energies that I'm seeing here. So we start off with the Two of Coins, then the King of Swords, and the Six of Swords in reverse. So I think that toward the beginning of the month, there's this sense of kind of juggling. Maybe you guys have a lot on your plate. You're really busy. There's a lot of competing priorities here. For some of you, there could be juggling when it comes to financial matters. Like, and this doesn't have to mean anything bad, but it could just be like, okay, I've got to move money out of savings into checking or from checking into savings. It's kind of like that balancing and juggling of our tangible resources as well. But for some of you, I do think a lot of this is just you being really busy with whatever's happening foundationally, these changes that you're building here or rebuilding. King of Swords is kind of similar. It's reminding me a little bit of this Saturnian energy where we've got this structured, logical, strategic mind that we are applying to whatever challenges that we're going through or whatever situation that we're needing to be accountable for here. So this is about logical thinking, being, again, strategic, being curious, asking questions. It's the mind, right? It's the mind, and it's also the way that we communicate. And I do think something more like structured or rigid or some sort of broader, like big picture strategy is going to be needed as you're evaluating your circumstances here, pile one. Because with the Six of Swords in reverse, there is still kind of like a choppiness to this, right? The Six of Swords in reverse can talk about when we're still kind of in something, like the broken heart is still here. We're still kind of navigating through choppy waters metaphorically here, or challenges, or, you know, we're kind of trying to figure out a way to move away from the challenge, move into a smoother path here. So it just feels so far, based off what I'm seeing, group number one, it just really feels like the goal this month is like getting your stuff together, just getting your stuff together, being more responsible, implementing and incorporating more structure into your life, and healing through whatever has been lost. Okay, so let's see. What else, Spirit, for group one? What else can they expect this month, in the month of July? We have the new moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation. And you know, I really love that because, again, we have Aragorn here. And look, we've got, what do you need to release? The waning moon. So there is something you need to let go of this month. Group number one, there's something you need to let go of. And with this new moon in Aquarius, you know, Aquarian energy kind of connected to the King of Swords, which is an air sign. Aquarian energy is an energy where maybe sometimes we're a little bit detached. We can be a little bit detached from the heart space. We're thinking more strategically. We're thinking more big picture. We're a little colder toward things. And so Aquarian energy is very much about like, it does have a little bit of even though it's detached, it kind of does have a little bit of this, what's the word I'm looking for? I think sometimes of like humanitarian energy to it at times, where we're thinking bigger picture about what's best for the collective, right? So there's some sort of a new beginning here, some sort of new start, and it makes a lot of sense with seeing the root chakra here. Like, you guys are getting this opportunity to start fresh and think more big picture about like what's right for everybody in this situation. Whether it's what I personally like or what others personally like, it's more detached and looking at the big picture here of what's right for humanity, the group, everybody involved within the situation. And even though there is that logic that's being applied here, I do feel with it talking about bringing love into the situation, we've got Aragorn here, which again, I feel is like a very unique depiction of the Emperor because of his emotional intelligence that he has. And so there is still this need to bring that emotional, that EQ, not just leaning on our IQ, we're leaning into our EQ this month as we move through whatever the situation is. Aquarian energy also talks about authenticity, being ourselves and being unique and not being afraid to bring our unique perspectives into the fold. And figuring out like where you uniquely stand out and how your unique talents and traits can better support a collective. Okay. So let's continue. I'm going to put this over here, actually. What else, Spirit? I'm just going to get a couple more cards and then we'll move into your charms. But this is really interesting, Group 1. I feel like very connected to your energy. I'm very curious to kind of see how this is going to play out for you guys. I'm really curious to get into the charms. Sometimes the charms give us more specific tea versus this tarot portion of the reading can tend to be like a little bit more kind of general energies. So we've got the whale, the wisdom keeper. We've got the pearl, the hidden gem. And then we also have the moon, cycles and change. So there's a moon coming up here twice. So I think just be prepared for change. You're going to be balancing a lot. You're going to be ushering in some sort of busyness, I think, this month. Maybe whatever you guys are doing is humanitarian in nature with Aquarius. Like we have the broken heart in reverse. There could be something about using your unique gifts and talents to help with healing or supporting in some capacity. But both of these cards are amazing because this is showing me like this month you guys are maybe uncovering some sort of hidden gems or hidden information or hidden wisdom or knowledge that's kind of helping you. You're applying that as you navigate through whatever the situation is. I feel like a lot of my Group 1 viewers, you guys already have a lot of wisdom that you hold, but there could be some introspective moments this month where you're kind of reflecting or thinking about, okay, like what are the lessons I've learned so far that are able to kind of help me navigate through what I'm going through this month? Okay, let's pull one more. Going with the Cosmic Insights. This one does tend to be more of like a love life oriented deck, but that doesn't mean we can't use it in a general reading, right? So what else, Spirit, for Group 1? Last message from the tarot portion of the reading. We have confession. Someone has something to tell you. And then we also have open up your heart. It will help you attract more love. That makes sense with Aquarius. Like, I do think that something about this month is challenging you guys to be more compassionate, to bring more empathy into a situation. There's something here, I think, connected to like whatever has been difficult, like whatever situation that you guys are finding yourselves still kind of rocky in. There could be some news coming from another party that's involved here that's helping you to understand like why it's been rocky. Maybe this has to do with someone else and you just like not really vibing super well. So it seems like there's some sort of information that's being shared with you guys this month as well that could be also helping you to unlock a higher level of wisdom that's allowing you to better navigate through your situation. So really interesting, group one. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of the cards away, and then we'll jump into charms next. All right, group one. So we are back, and we are going to get into the charms and Astro dice to see what other insights we can get for you on the month of July. All right, so we've got Mercury and we have Virgo here. We've got the first quarter moon, fire, and the number 4. We also have the 12th house here as well. Let's go ahead and pull some additional charms for group number 1. Ooh, okay. Hold on, let's get these together. I feel like I dropped one somewhere, but I will look for that later. This kind of is here in the center. Letter U, interesting. Okay. Oh, we have a little seahorse. That one I feel like never comes out. So where do I want to start? I think there's a lot here. Kind of like in what we were talking about with inclusion of others and like empathy and all that kind of stuff. We do have some stuff coming up here under social life and the way that you connect with others or interact with others. So we've got Mercury and Virgo. So there's something around communication with other people that is significant, as well as Virgo is the energy of being of service to others. It can also talk about like the medical or health related matters, or it could talk about, oh shoot, what am I? Maybe I wasn't going to say anything else. Sorry. Okay. So it could be connected to like health or being of service to others. There could also be some perfectionistic tendencies here when it comes to your interactions with other people as well. Group 1, so I would just kind of be mindful of that if that's something that you kind of struggle with, like holding other people to like really, really high standards. And maybe that's part of what that King of Swords is about that we got in the first part of the reading, right? Because the King of Swords does have very high standards, right? They can be someone that's really hard to measure up to. So I could see that tendency there if you're not careful in your dealings with others, okay? We also have some stuff coming up here under the partnership area of the chart. So we've got the letter U. This could be someone's initials, but it could just be talking about like you, my viewer. And then we have the star here. This is really nice. This talks about dream fulfillment or wish fulfillment. So wishing on a star. You guys might be meeting a potential partner this month, whether it's like a romantic partner or like a work partner. There could be some sort of partner here that's coming in that's like a wish fulfillment to you or like a dream come true in some regard. So looking very harmonious. It looks like there's going to be a lot of activity as it pertains to talking to other people, supporting other people, being of service. Maybe some of you guys are doing volunteer work or something like that as well. All right, so let's talk about finances this month. You've got a lot of stuff here. So we've got the fire element, we've got the number 4, and the first quarter moon. I kind of feel like this month you guys are working on your financial stability. So maybe that is tying into our root chakra for some of you guys and Saturn's energy. Number 4 does talk about stability and structure, foundational matters. So there could be some goals that you guys have set coming into the month of July around your financial goals and stability. And the first quarter moon is kind of saying like, let's keep going. Like, let's keep on, hold our vision when it comes to our goals. And I feel like with the fire element here, there's actually like a lot of excitement around this as well. A lot of passion, a lot of energy toward meeting whatever your financial goals are. If you guys have been having challenges leading up to this month as it pertains to your finances, I do see you starting like new practices that are going to help to take action toward rebuilding and making things better for you. Okay. So it's more like, it's not like money's just going to fall out of the sky, right? It's more like you guys kind of getting things together and driving that accountability like we talked about in the first part of the reading. With the swan being here at the center, I do think there is a question of loyalty, like broader this month, like a broader question that we're asking about that, or partnerships. Because when I think of swans, I do think of the energy of partnership. loyalty could be significant, right? Loyalty in your friend groups or the community you serve, loyalty in your partnerships, loyalty with family is coming up here, maybe even loyalty to self. So just kind of be mindful of like, what is it that you're loyal to? What does loyalty mean to you? Are the people around you showing that they're loyal to you, and vice versa? We have some stuff happening here with your health and well-being as well. With the diamond, I think there's some sort of new promise or new commitment that you're making to yourself around your health. And with the 12th house being here, I feel like this could be more around like mental health or like subconscious matters that might be impacting your well-being. So look for some like new opportunities to sort of recommit to some healthier practices here this month. We have under home and family, we have the cat, and then we also have the cross. So the cross can talk about like burdens. It can talk about sacrifice. It can talk about maybe religion specifically is like significant to some of you guys when it pertains to family matters. And with the cat being here, this is more about independence. So maybe some of you guys are kind of like, I could see for some of you, like maybe you're bearing a lot of responsibility in the home, bearing a lot of responsibility for your family this month, taking on a lot, making sacrifices for the greater good of the family, which would tie in with that Aquarian energy that we got in your reading in the beginning here. Some of you guys could be making a sacrifice today that is allowing you to be independent in the future, which would tie in really well with Saturn, right? So maybe some of you guys are still living with family, still kind of stacking away money, saving up, not loving it, right? But it's a sacrifice we make today to achieve a longer term goal, which really connects with Saturn here. And then finally, you guys, we've got your advice. Okay, so the seahorse can talk about past lives, which is kind of interesting. We've also got the clothespin, which talks about securing and holding something down. And then we do also have the key here, which talks about wisdom and unlocking spiritual insights. And it was kind of here within the spirit self section as well. So I feel like your advice this month is like, take from your previous experiences, your past life experience, things you've gone through in the past, group number one. And Spirit is saying like you hold the key to unlocking the path forward toward your goals. I think especially you guys might be wanting more security, especially with all this focus on finances over here. Like I think you guys are really wanting more security, more support there. So you have the wisdom that's needed to be able to unlock that success for yourself because you've already lived through something similar in the past or in a past life. And with the 12th house being here, for some of my more spiritual people, there could be some past life regression work to do this month or some sort of spiritual insights that you gain from understanding past lifetimes that you've lived here and how that's impacting the way, like especially these financial matters are showing up for you this month. So it looks like a very transformative, really interesting month ahead for you guys, group one. Comment below. Let me know what your plans are and how this reading might stack up to those. And I do look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey group two, and welcome to your reading for the month of July. We're going to start off with your tarot and oracle portion of your forecast, and then we will also be moving into charms and dice. I will have that timestamp below in case any of you guys like to skip ahead to that portion of the reading first. So, excuse me, let's go ahead and jump in, starting with the overall energies for your month. So we've got Uranus energy here. We've got the happy family in reverse. And we also have victory coming through as well. Okay. So group two, the month of July. With Uranus being here, I do feel like there's some sort of maybe pretty drastic shift that is coming through this month. I would recommend looking at where Uranus falls in your chart because that might give you some clues as to like what part of the chart could be being affected or impacted by this Uranus energy. And when I say check for Uranus, check the transit. I know in the month of July, Uranus is going to transit into the sign of Gemini. So whatever is the Gemini area in your chart could give you some clues about what area of life this is most likely to impact. But for the purpose of this reading today, I feel like there's something about this Uranian energy here that is creating some sort of shift or some sort of disruption when it comes to family matters. But I feel very strongly that it is going to be, excuse me, positive for you. Uranus is connected to Aquarius, right? And Aquarian energy is about authenticity, being our true self, even if it's a little weird or rebellious or kind of like against the grain. And I could see a scenario here where it feels really good to be authentic and to be who you are, or to be releasing something that's not been allowing you to live the life that you would like to live. But I do think there's going to be something about the shift that's going to create some sort of disconnect or distance between your family, close friendships, and things like that. Okay, it doesn't have to literally mean you're fighting with your family. Maybe some of you guys are, but there's going to be some sort of distance created here with this Uranian energy, but you're getting a win from it. I'm drawn to the rainbow energy here. Again, it's just making me feel like there's something about this big shift that's going to allow you guys to be more colorful, more authentic, right? Like more true to you. So let's see. Let's keep going. Group 2. What is ahead, Spirit, for Group 2 in the month of July? Working with the Lord of the Rings Tarot today, inspired by my Eye of Sauron Carnelian. If you're a fan, comment below and let me know if you see it too, if you see the resemblance. Okay, so what's ahead, Spirit, for my Group 2 viewers in the month of July? What else do they need to know about this energy? Ooh, 9 of Cups. Ten of Cups reverse. Very interesting. That's a synchronicity there. Knight of Swords and 6 of Wands, which is very similar to this Victory card. Wow. You guys are definitely getting something that you want with the 9 of Cups. There's something that you want. There's something that's bringing you emotional fulfillment. And I think it's kind of freeing you from family responsibilities or family matters. Maybe some of my Group 2 viewers are making a tough decision to kind of like sever ties with family, or you're doing something here with the 9 of Cups that's more about your own individual happiness and success in life. But it is maybe not something that your broader family and community might be the most supportive of. Now, for some of you, I'm not specifically necessarily seeing this, but this could even be a situation where some of you guys move or relocate, and that's what's creating the separation or the distance between you and family. But there's definitely like more of this emphasis on putting yourself first, your own emotional well-being and your own emotional satisfaction and gratification first. But it is coming at the expense of your family's happiness, okay? Maybe some of you guys are getting divorced or becoming single again if you have a family of your own. It feels like the energy of this doesn't feel so much about that, though. It feels more about like extended family members. But again, take it as it resonates for you. There's success here. Like there's some victory that you're getting with this. Like the Knight of Swords talks about like drive and ambition, and it's like you guys might actually find that it also talks about like communication and debates and things like that. You guys could find like an unlikely ally in your corner as well this month that's helping you or supporting you. Like, you know, Gimli and Legolas, they were not friends. The bromance grew over time, right? Yeah, there could be like an unlikely ally that is in your corner that's kind of helping you here. You guys could also be in the spotlight this month too, with regard to whatever this is with the Queen of Wands and the Six of Wands. There's definitely like, yeah, because look, here's Gimli again. I feel like there is somebody here, this Gimli character, someone who you wouldn't maybe expect to be in your corner, or that's a little bit different from you. You're already showing as wanting to do something different, but this person is also different from you, like an unlikely ally that I feel like you guys find here. And they're there when you're having your moment of success. Okay, let's keep going. Group 2, what else? Some of you guys could be like coming out, or something along those lines could be significant for some of my viewers out there if you're in the LGBTQ community. But again, Uranus, it is just really the energy of like kind of breaking away from the status quo and like authenticity to self, being whoever we are, no matter how weird other people think it is, you know? And that can be applied across a lot of different things in life. So what else, Spirit? What else does Group 2 need to know about the month of July? Ooh, we've got the super moon. Emotions are running high. Yeah. Yeah. And then we've got the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. So there's something here that you've been working on that you're going to get success for. You're achieving success for this month. But I definitely think that there is something about what you're doing, or the path that you're on, or this year that you're shifting into with Uranus. I do think that there's some family disruption here with the supermoon, where things might feel pretty dramatic, or the reactions that you're kind of dealing with from your family or extended family members feel pretty heightened. To help you guys understand Uranus, like, it's almost like you guys have been going along in a specific gear, right? And then all of a sudden you're shifting gears very abruptly. And so I think for your family, your extended family, your relatives, this is going to come across a little bit like shocking because they're not expecting it. Okay. Hence why the emotions might be a bit high here. But I feel like with that 9 of Cups, you guys are feeling good, you know. What else, Spirit, for Group 2 this month? We have the Cat, jealousy and gossip. So just watch out for that, you guys. I think there are some people who, you know, the energy of jealousy is different from envy, because like envy is when we want something that someone else has, where jealousy is more of like a possessive energy, you know? And so I could kind of see like with some of your extended family, if you guys are moving on or you're moving into doing something that they don't agree with, you're growing, you're evolving, you're stepping into being your authentic self, they might be feeling like they want to hold you back down. They don't want to let you go, okay? They could be talking about you. There could be some discussion, some chatter here behind the scenes. Let's see. One more, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the Rabbit, pregnancy and fears. Maybe someone's getting pregnant, or there could be children involved for some of you guys. Pregnancy, though, it's more of, could also just be like a metaphor for creation. Like maybe whatever you guys are winning in, whatever your success is, has to do with like creating something new in your life. But fears is also really kind of drawing my attention. I think that some of you guys might have some extended family members who are just in more of like a fear-based energy. Like they don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand the changes. Whereas like, even though it's making you really happy and fulfilled, there's something fear-based in their energy that's driving some of this jealousy and gossip and some of these emotions that are here. All right, let's just pull one more and then we'll move into your charms. Like you guys could feel like maybe you're getting into like debates or arguments here with the Knight of Swords, feeling like you have to kind of advocate for yourself. But there's definitely like for sure an unlikely ally that's here, that's like in your corner. All right, closing messages for group 2, Spirit, before we move into the charms. What else do they need to know about their July? We have health. Health issues could arise. And then we do have challenges, make a decision, work on inner healing. Okay. Just be mindful, you guys, of your mental health and well-being, and just like kind of making sure that you're protecting your energy. Because I do think with this Knight of Swords here, there's definitely like debates happening. There's, you know, maybe arguments happening for some of you guys. There could be this energy of feeling like you're put on the spot. Like this is the scene where we have the Rohirrim. They don't understand who these two are, and they're like attacking them. And so these two are kind of like on their own defending themselves. So you could feel like some defensive energy, which could be negatively impacting your physical or mental health. So just be mindful of that. Watch out for that. But it really feels like you guys are just doing what feels good for you, doing what makes you happy first, seeking fulfillment, and allowing like in a way that's allowing you to live authentically. Okay. And you're winning something. You're coming out on top in this matter. So I want to clear all of our cards off, group 2, and then we'll take a look at the charms next to see what other insights we can get here. All right, group 2. So let's go ahead and see what the dice and charms have to add to your message for the month of July. Okay, please hold. Let's pull this out of the way here. All right, so we've got some career stuff happening here. Maybe that's what's being, yeah, there's something public. Okay, let's see. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about July's energy for group 2? Okay. Look at that. We have so much family stuff happening here for you guys. All right. Oops. Okay, well, that flew over there. Got the little teddy bear. I feel like this is kind of in the center. This is kind of in the center. And this is here. Okay. So what is happening, group number 2? So we have a lot here. And it's so interesting that this skull and crossbones is coming up under home and family, because I feel like there is very much something happening with family where you're having to be cautious, or like that's where the pain point is for you guys this month. Okay. I just think with the crown that a lot of you guys are like knowing your value, knowing your worth. You are standing in your power. And with this navigation, with the little wheel here, I think that you guys are just moving in some sort of a direction with regard to home. Like maybe you're literally moving, or you're just making some sort of change of direction in your life that your family might not be fully on board with. Yeah, and the elephant also talks about community. I feel like some of my group 2 viewers are coming out, or like there's something about like community or spaces that you belong to that like your family might be a little bit resistant to at this time. But again, it just seems like there's a change in like your direction in life. You're wearing your crown, you're standing in your power, and like your family is struggling with it this month, okay? Now, I do want to say something really beautiful that I see this month for you is coming up here under love and partnerships. There's really, there's a significant partner here that's showing up. We've got the letter G, so this could be someone's initials for confirmation for some of you. But the moon and stars makes me think of like, I think they hang the moon and stars, like that phrase. So there's somebody like really lovely here that's in your corner, which is what I was getting, you know, in your reading earlier. It's like there's some sort of an unlikely ally or support that you're getting from a partner. So while there could be some friction here, there's positive stuff here. There's just some friction here as well with family. I think that you do have someone in your corner that is very supportive on like a one-on-one basis. Your public image is significant here as well when it comes to others. So like, again, there's something about like with the 10th house, this can be career, but it can also talk about just our public image. What are we known for? What are we showing most publicly about ourselves? So that seems to be pretty significant this month. With Uranus being here, it just seems like you guys are doing something that is pretty unique, that you're being known for, that you're getting attention for, whether that's like within your family or your community, your social group, or larger. Even I think of like protesting, or just you're doing something that feels like taboo to your family members. And it's getting a lot of publicity, whether that's like just within your little community or more. It's interesting with health and well-being because you guys did have a card in your spread that talked about health issues. So I'm not trying to predict that out for anyone here, but we have a little bird which talks about communication, conversations, socializing. And it's interesting too because we also have like the little bee and the star that's kind of like on the edge here. So with the star being here, I feel like some of this stuff with health and well-being is also connected to your finances. So like the bee is like hard work, it's networking, it's community. So like, again, being mindful of how much time you're spending in spaces where people don't accept you or people are arguing with you. Like, I think Spirit is just telling you, kind of confirming what I was getting in your tarot portion of the reading group too, that like, be mindful of how much energy you're giving into spaces that are not accepting of you and the changes in the path that you're on. Because I do think that that's going to impact like your well-being mentally, right? We do have a wish fulfillment energy here with the star too. So I feel like some of you guys could be getting a wish fulfillment here within finances or well-being that's like affecting each other positively. Maybe that's the news or communication that you're getting. Either getting news about something to do with your health or well-being that's bettering your finances, or like getting something new here with finances that's helping to boost your well-being as well. You guys do have some energy here under finances. So you've got the Christmas tree, you've got the teddy bear, and then you have the letter O. So the O could be initials here. It's really interesting that the teddy bear is here because the teddy bear talks about childhood stuff, like trauma is the key word that's associated with it. So there could be some sort of childhood stuff that's coming up for you around financial success, because the Christmas tree talks about joy. It's a very positive card, a positive charm, which is making me think that you guys are enjoying something beneficial financially this month. And maybe that's where some of the conflict or the friction is coming into play with family as well. Like maybe we have family members that feel entitled, or a lot of people in that larger community that feel entitled because maybe you are in a public facing role, a prominent role where you're earning a lot of money, you're getting a lot of attention. And so there could be some challenges there around navigating that with family members. What else? So we also have some stuff happening in career for you guys this month too. So the waxing gibbous moon has to do with learning new things. So you could be starting off on like some sort of new learning journey in your career or business matters this month. And with the Ace of Cups here, this feels like an opportunity for something really positive, something that's more emotionally fulfilling. Again, I think if it's connected to a financial boost, it's almost like you guys are learning something new. That's a new opportunity to feel more emotionally connected to the work that you do. And it's bringing in some financial benefits for you as well. And with Virgo here, this is an energy of being of service to others, right? So maybe for some of you guys in your career, you're getting to like do something that helps other people, that's being helpful, being of service. Virgo can also be connected to health too. So maybe some of that's why some of this stuff could be kind of like interwoven in your reading group too. So maybe some of you work in the medical field, or there's something to do with health here that you're known for in career. But it looks like a very beautiful, positive opportunity for you guys in career, in your public image this month. It really seems like you're making decisions around like what communities you associate with or don't associate with. And there's a lot of success that I see here, both financial and career-wise, socially, partnerships. You just have this thorn in your side here when it comes to something to do with family. So I'm very curious to hear from you guys in the comments group too, like what is happening with you and what's going on with your family. Like, I need the tea. So let me know in the comments. And thank you guys if you made it to the end of this reading. I appreciate the support. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading for the month of July. So we're going to start off with looking at your tarot and oracle cards to see what's ahead this month, and then we'll also transition into charms and dice. If you guys like to skip ahead to that part first, I have it timestamped below, so if you want to go there and then come back to cards, you can do so. So we're starting off by looking at the overall energy. So you guys have this energy of antimony here. You've got the Magician in the mirror. And then we also have the energy of deceit coming through as well. Okay, so what is happening? Group 3. So this is a super interesting energy. This antimony energy talks about corrosion. So it's making me feel like there's something about this month where how do I want to say this? There's an opportunity to dissolve something that is no longer serving you and create something new. And I feel like I'm kind of seeing that here with these other two cards. Maybe there is something that you guys are looking to dissolve in your life or fade out of. Because it's something that is restricting you, or it's like keeping you down, or not allowing you to be as free as you would like to be. And maybe with this deceit energy, there's something about it that you've been like avoiding or hiding from for a while. The other thing, though, that I feel that you guys want to watch out for this month, and again, I'm going to get more cards in a minute to build on the message, but whatever you guys have not been facing within yourselves or within your life, I do feel like Spirit is pointing to like this is corrosive for you. Like this might be a behavioral pattern that like feels like it's allowing you a sense of freedom, but it's not setting you up for success in the long term. It's like almost a need for more discipline in a way that I'm feeling. Just to give you guys an example, and maybe this is literal for some of you, because I'm drawn to the money that is like slipping out of his hands here in this card. I think of like just kind of spending frivolously or spending without awareness, like not having a budget. And maybe in the moment, just being able to spend whatever I want and get whatever I want with the money feels really freeing to me, which is what this card talks about. But it's corrosive to my stability long term to do that, right? So that's just an example. And it doesn't literally have to be money for you guys, but like there is something here that I think Spirit is saying, like this is a corrosive pattern, a corrosive habit that you just want to be watching out for this month. Because I do feel with the Magician in the mirror that you all are looking to create something. You're manifesting something. You have bigger goals, bigger dreams. You want more for yourself. But the Magician in the mirror also talks about like how whatever is within is what is mirrored back to us. Like whatever we deserve, whatever we feel we deserve is usually mirrored back to us. And so I do think you have the power to create whatever this is that you're wanting, but there's a need to kind of face maybe a more shadow side of your personality or your habits so that you can be more empowered in creating what you desire this month. Okay, so very interesting. Let's keep on going. Group number 3. So what else, Spirit? What can you tell us, please, about what's ahead for group 3 in the month of July? is ahead for group 3 in the month of July? We're working with the Lord of the Rings tarot deck today. I was inspired by my carnelian that looks like the Eye of Sauron, which here he is right here. Let me know if you like that story and you see the resemblance. Comment below. Okay, so what's ahead, Spirit, in the month of July for my group 3 viewers? King of Wands. Beautiful. Ace of Wands. One more, please, Spirit. And the World. Wow. And then we do have a 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There's something here that you guys are really excited about with the Ace of Wands. There could be like a new exciting like creative opportunity. Maybe it is something with the King of Wands that's allowing you guys to travel or to relocate or something like that is sort of symbolizing the closing, the conclusion of a chapter in your life. But I feel like whatever this chapter is that could be closing out for you, it is opening up a whole new world of possibilities, right? Like we've got the map of Middle Earth here. The King of Wands is a really like charismatic leadership energy, and it's very passionate. We have a lot of the fire element here. So you guys could be really like driving toward a goal, or again, like you're seeking, it feels like you guys just really want to be free. Like you're seeking this independent energy to be able to like do what you want to do on your terms with the 9 of Cups, right? The 9 of Cups is about self-fulfillment, emotional fulfillment of self. And I do feel that is like a key driver in this energy of wanting to be wild and free and to do what you want to do here is emotional fulfillment. So there's some sort of a new opportunity, I think, with this Ace of Wands that's coming through that's got you guys like really charged up and really, really excited. And it could be something that you guys have been manifesting or calling into your life for a long time coming. But I just still feel like I need to say, with that deceit energy and knowing kind of like the dual meaning of this antimony, I do still think you guys are going to have to be mindful of whatever the habit is or the behavior is or the shadow side of yourself is, because it's still here, right? We might be closing out a chapter. We might have a grip on something. We might be feeling like we've reached a certain level of success or achievement here with the world, but the deceit is still here. Okay, so just be mindful of your shadow sides and kind of be thinking about what is it in my life that eats away or corrodes things not to my benefit, okay? So let's see, group number 3. What else, Spirit? What else is happening for group 3 this month? We have the full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. So lots of really powerful energy here. We've got the full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yeah, I think you guys have been going through it. You know, like there's definitely like this energy of challenge that I am feeling. Like we're overcoming a challenge. We're overcoming something. We have more energy now to an excitement and passion over something, especially now that whatever this is ending for us. But with the full moon eclipse, like this can still mean there are some bumps here that we have to overcome, some hurdles that we have to overcome. We're not fully out of the woods yet, and the full moon eclipse is gonna bring in like pretty big shifts and changes for us. So a chapter is ending, it's opening up for a new beginning for you guys, something that feels really creative and exciting. It's giving you like a burst of energy into your life. But there is still this lingering work that's going to have to be done, I feel really strongly here. Okay, so let's keep going. Group 3. What else does group 3 need to know, Spirit? You guys could be taking the lead on something important here, or just like showing up as more of a leader in your life. What else, please, Spirit? You guys could also check to see in your natal chart where the next eclipse is going to fall, because that could give you some clues about what area of life this could be referring to for you. So we have the old man, inheritance and mail coming through. Maybe there's something connected to inheritance here, or an older man in your life of significance. And maybe that's what these conclusions are about. We also have the gate, opportunities and home. So this could be impacting your home. Yeah, because it's like there is some sort of opportunity here, I feel like, to travel or to move or relocate with the world. There's a new door opening for you that's allowing you to escape, to be free. And it's so interesting too, because at the bottom of the deck, we've got the witch, which has this dual meaning of magic and curse. And I feel like duality is such a thing in your message, group 3, because, you know, this antimony talks, I almost said alimony. Maybe some of you guys have to pay alimony. I don't know. But there's something here that's a dual nature with this too, right? It's either creation or corrosion. It's all about how you wield it and how you look at it. We also have the wheel, endings and beginnings. Again, I'm thinking of travel, relocation. We have challenges here that you guys have overcome. Yeah, so there's definitely like something here, like a new opportunity that's coming through that's very exciting for you guys, that's allowing you to end a cycle and start something new. But I think Spirit is really cheering you on with this. Like, you're getting something that you want. You get to be independent. You're emotionally fulfilled. You're in your power. You're in your leadership energy with this King of Wands. Very passionate, very excited about what you've created here, what you've manifested. But I do think that Spirit is still saying that whatever this corrosive behavior is, it's still present, regardless of you guys moving to a new location. So you want to make sure that you're still being mindful of whatever that is for you, okay? So we're going to get one more card, group 3 for you, and then we will go into your charms. This is so cool. Final message for group 3 before we move into the charms, please, Spirit. We have pets. Getting a new pet, giving a current pet more love. Okay, so maybe you guys have a pet, or there's something about pets that is significant to this month as well. We also, you guys have a wolf, so maybe a dog would be significant to some of you here. At the bottom of the deck, we have letting go. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. And I feel like that's exactly like what this month is about. But look, underneath of that, we have the liar. Be careful of someone sneaky. But I feel like this is more about you, my viewer. Like, not saying you're a liar, there's something bad about you. It's more about like, what am I not being honest with myself about? That's more the vibe that I'm getting from this. Maybe for a select few of you, there is someone that you're thinking of that's like, no, that person is deceitful. They're a liar. They're part of the reason why I've been having some challenges. Take that as it resonates for you. I do feel like for the majority of you, this is more so talking about your shadows that you're not maybe as fully aware of as it pertains to your goals and your manifestations here. So, really cool stuff, group 3. I'm going to clear all these cards off, and then we're going to transition into your charms next. All right, group 3. So let's go ahead and see, what do the charms and the dice have to add to your message for this month of July? Ooh. Okay. 8th house. There's definitely something with inheritance, I think, for someone out there. or like shared resources from family. Let's see. Okay. Very interesting. I feel like I want just like a couple more for group number 3. Okay, the little squid coming through there. Letter H could be significant in terms of a family member or someone to do with family. All right, my friends. So what is happening? So I want to start, we have a lot going on here. I want to start with love and partnerships because I feel like there's some sort of fated partnership that's significant here for you this month. We've got the new moon, the number 3. So new moons can be new beginnings, which we've kind of been talking about, right? Like closing out a chapter so that we can usher in the new. There's some sort of fated partnership. Now, this could be romantic, this could be platonic, it could be a business partner, could be a lot of different things. So just take it as it plays out for you. For some of you guys, I feel like it's a friend with the number 3, or like you're at least starting off as friends. The number 3, though, can just have to do with creativity, which has also been like a part of some of the discussion that we've had earlier with all the wands energy in your spread. But there's some sort of fated partnership energy, some sort of new beginning, I feel like with a friend or friends, or some sort of creative endeavor with a partner. I need to check because I'm not sure what that is, if that's Gemini or not. Let me see. Yeah, that's Gemini's energy. Here under finances and wealth, there's a lot of like, when it comes to your finances, there's something here around like collaboration, teamwork, networking, like working with a lot of people. You guys might even work like, I don't necessarily see Gemini as the internet, but I just think of like the widespread energy of Gemini, like connecting with a bunch of people. You know, maybe you guys have clients that you help on the internet, or there could even be something here about like writing or communication that is getting you additional money this month. This may not be something you necessarily do as your primary career, but it feels like there's something around like writing, sharing your thoughts, communicating your thoughts, and networking with people, collaborating with people that's earning money. Podcasting comes to mind as well. So maybe getting paid doing something like that. I also think of with Gemini, because Gemini is variety, I think of like multiple streams of income. So this could just be a month. And again, we have 8th house energy here, but then also the inheritance energy in the tarot spread. So this could also just be a month where you've got financial, multiple sources of finances. There is something here though. And again, this is that I do feel for a lot of you guys, like whatever the hidden thing is or the shadows that thing is about money. Because there is something here with the squid that you just need to watch out for when it comes to your career and finances. The squid is like, it talks about threats. Like that's the key word of it. I'm not trying to scare anybody with that, but like there is something here beneath the surface that you just need to watch out for. That is, I think, potentially corrosive to your financial well-being if you don't keep it in check. And when I think of a squid, right, like it's like existing in like the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, and it has like this defense mechanism where it throws ink in your face or in the face of its prey, right, where you can't see clearly. So I just think, you guys, there's something that Spirit keeps emphasizing that you might not be seeing totally clearly as it pertains to your money. So just watch out for that and maybe start looking a little bit more closely at like your spending habits, where your money is going. Maybe even like if you guys work with a financial advisor, like check in on that. Like I think there's just a need to like have more transparency with yourself around your money. So just keep that in mind. We also have a lot of energy here with home and family. So again, we have some initials. The letter H could be significant. We've got Earth, we've got the 8th house, and then we also have the Crown here. So the Earth energy is making me feel like some of you guys are really grounding yourselves when it comes to home. Like I could even see some of my group 3 viewers like purchasing a home. Maybe you're getting some assistance with the 8th house, and it doesn't necessarily have to just mean inheritance, right? Like 8th house is other people's resources. It's shared resources. It's like loans, right? Things like that. So there could be some stability that you're achieving here through taking out a loan or getting some assistance from some other external source. But there's definitely like a very grounded energy that I see. And with this crown, I think you guys are feeling like really empowered. I think you're, in your power. I think that you are in charge of it. I think you're, it's reminding me of the King of Wands, right? You're going after this with a passion, with excitement. It's a goal, I feel like, that a lot of you guys have wanted to achieve. I feel like a lot of my group 3 viewers are literally like buying a house or doing something with their house, their living situation that feels a little bit more permanent and grounded this month, which is super exciting. So again, like all the more reason to be mindful of the money stuff here. We also have Uranus coming through in the health and well-being area. So Uranus is kind of like the energy of sudden shifts. It's also the energy of like rebellion and kind of like marching to the beat of our own drum a little bit. So maybe some of you guys could be exploring some more like unconventional well-being or health practices this month. You guys could be just kind of abruptly starting some sort of a new routine that's helping you kind of shake things up when it comes to your health and well-being in a good way. But there's definitely something here that's like kind of, even with the pet thing that came up earlier, I don't know why, but in my mind, I was thinking about someone out there having like an unconventional pet. I don't know why I was thinking that, but I was. Maybe because of the wolf. Like obviously that's, I guess, similar to a dog, but it's also not a dog. If you have a pet wolf, let me know. Or if you have some sort of like unconventional pet, let me know. Maybe there's something about a pet that's also helping you with your health and well-being, like getting a service animal or needing a service animal or like an emotional support type of pet could be significant here. And then we also have the little treble clef here under spirit and self. So I just think that this month you guys are really in tune with yourselves. You're really in tune with your intuition. You are, I think, really on a positive path forward. Things are just falling into place. Things feel really harmonious for you. So just continue to like trust yourself and trust your instincts as you move forward on this path. Under your advice area, we have the letter G. So maybe again, there's someone out there, your grandma, I don't know, someone whose name starts with the letter G that's helping to guide you this month. But we have the swan, and the swan talks about loyalty. So coming back to this Gemini energy and the squid and the deceit energy that we had in the last part of your reading, I do think that Spirit is saying like, watch for that trait as you're interfacing with others and watch for that trait in yourself. Gemini energy, I'm not saying it's not loyal, but it is an energy that can be kind of scattered. It's got its hands in a lot of different things. It likes to talk to a lot of different people. It's very exploratory, and it can sometimes, because it's so intellectually curious, like we can kind of miss like important details because we're just so like, curious and all over the place. And I am a Gemini. I have many Gemini placements, so that is not like a roast. Like that's just how I experience this energy. So I think Spirit is saying for your advice, like watch out for loyalty. Who's loyal to you? What are you loyal to? And is all of that really in your highest good? Are those connections in your highest good? Are those behaviors in your highest good? So really awesome, Group 3. Comment below. Let me know what's happening in your life and what plans you have for this month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.